Hi, in this project I made a customized seat for my Malibu X-Factor kayak. I made it from combined parts from a standard beach chair and a stadium seat. Now during this tutorial I am going to skip some of the steps in order to save on time for the video, but I will explain what I've done. So that being said, let me show you what I did. Here's an installed view of the custom seat. The front legs fit very nicely into the depressed well area of the kayak. And here's a side view. And as you go around to the rear, you see the rear support bar fits very nicely at the rear end of the cockpit and butts up against the hatch for better support. Now, both these legs distribute the weight over a greater area, which means less stress on the kayak, which should reduce any chance of cracking. And the seat also still folds up into a more compact space. These are the chairs I'm going to be using in this modification project. On the left there in the green is a standard beach chair, and the dimensions fit the kayak that I'm going to be modifying it for. And on the right there is a standard stadium seat, which I'm going to use the seat section and the back section because it's a lot more sturdy and comfortable than the standard beach chair. So in order to make this work, I'm going to remove this lower section of the front part of the beach chair and the rear section that holds the backrest. And I'm going to be doing that by just drilling out in 4 places the pop rivets that are here that allow the stand to pivot. And then once these are removed, I'm going to drill out holes here on the stadium seat and attach the legs on the front and the back. And then on the back here, you can see that the backing is just attached with a couple of screws. So same on the stadium seat, and then I'll just remove those and slide it over. And then once all that's done, I'll have a nice frame with a comfortable stadium seat that will work well in the kayak. So these are the pieces now that they've been drilled out and removed from the beach chair. And I'll be reattaching them to the stadium seat. Now, even though the seats are about the same size and width, there is a little bit of difference. So in order for this to fit the way I want it, I'm going to remove this crossbar that goes in the front section of the beach chair tubing. And it'll be easy, just a little hacksaw on these 2 little spot welds. And then what I'll be able to do is kind of tweak the bars in a little bit to make it fit the front of the seat better. Here's the completed seat. And as I go around to the support for the front leg, you can see I bolted it through the stadium seat tube, and I did that by drilling a hole first and then just connecting both sides with bolts. And I cranked down on those really hard so that the front leg wouldn't pivot like it did originally on the beach chair. And the rear support is attached by drilling a hole through the bar, and I was able to use the original bolts that came with the stadium seat. But you can see that there's another hole there above the bolt, and what I had to do is, when I made my first version of this, it didn't sit even in the kayak. So I had to measure out the new distance I needed for the rear height of the bar. And once I figured that out, I re-drilled holes so it would sit level in the kayak. And the front bar leg and the rear support for the backrest there, I manually had to tweak those by bending them in a little bit so that everything would fit. But it turned out pretty good. So that's a completed project. But it's not only specialized just for my Malibu kayak. You can use the same principles and ideas and parts for your own kayak. So if you have any questions, please leave them for me in the comment section. Thank you.